So with Bitcoin's latest drop, I want to run through a couple of charts. We'll go back over, first of all, this levels chart we made last time. We talked about this bearish divergence forming and a possible at least retest of this support line. We were looking around 27, and we fell through that, which invalidates our shorter time frame swipe back up to 32. Um, We've instead come down here to our lower support, but we came down rather impulsively, so I'm looking for even lower at this point. I think we may come up and test this trend line here before we fall back down. Kind of round out a little bottom, come up, find resistance, and form another low, possibly all the way down here at about 21.5 and one of our mid channel points. You can see we have a fairly common type structure. We got our three, you know, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 rises, kind of an M formation top, and then we'll probably get 3 on the way down. Sometimes it just shows up, maybe as 2 before we come for another try at the highs. The areas I'm really looking at, if we fall back down through this lower support, and I don't see why we wouldn't at this point, because this looked corrective, but this is definitely impulsive. So what we likely have, yeah, so we just hit the 5. That was pretty close, but that's enough for a wave 1. Come up, measure, tip to tip, come down and finish up this wave 1. You have 1, 2, 3 down here, the 1, 6, 1, 8, and then 4 and 5. And this could be close enough. I know it went lower on some exchanges, actually, especially leverage or stablecoin USDT pairs. We did come down far enough to hit this 1, 6, 1, 8. Our final resting point could be somewhere in between these two bands. For me, that's my most likely scenario now. We'll go over some other charts real quick, see what the others are telling us, because right now in these higher time frames, until we get a back test of this box, this level, and this trend line, we don't have a lot to go with right now. I'd hate to short after such a large impulsive move because odds are pretty good we're going to correct some more before we continue downward. Now, I'm on a weekly chart, so the weekly has just crossed under the midline on the RSI. That means we got some momentum to keep coming down. If we go into a daily chart on this, you can see we're already starting to get a little bit of support. We are definitely oversold on the daily. I imagine that'll cook off and cool off this weekend. Yeah, we might have enough. We may end up drifting up into here, let that RSI drift, come back down for another low, come back down for another low. And hopefully what happens is we get the opposite of the above. Let's say price comes back up, comes down for another low, then we take off. And what we'll see on the RSI, hopefully, is fairly similar. RSI cools off, comes down, and comes up. And that should hopefully give us a nice daily bullish divergence on the RSI to continue back up and to get back into that 32 range we've been eyeballing for a while. That 32 plus, honestly. But I'm just going to take this level by level. It is a levels chart, and that's exactly how we're going to trade this one. Let me move over to some other charts. First of all, got my my long-term count chart. I started not at the very bottom. I really started here with a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is in logarithmic, so it's going to look a lot less drastic down here than it will on a regular chart. I've had this for a while. I'm not so sure about this. This is just speculation, kind of a worst case scenario, and I'm not going to mention it today here. I'll show my S&P chart and why that could coincide with a major Bitcoin drop chart. It would be devious, and if we are going to get ETFs approved, the spot ETFs, then this may not. I might take this off the chart if we can get enough money flooded in. It could or could not happen. Really, the point to defend, I think, is probably about 10,000, 10,500. If we hit down in here close to 10K, I think that'd be a big surprise move for everyone looking for that round number. But we do have a target and support down here. Now, we could be on our way now. My minimum retracement for this was here at 28.6, and obviously we've both hit and surpassed it. But ideally, we come up into this range. Pull up you can see here, again, negative divergence on the RSI. It's coming down. It's under the midline. That's my RSI. It's just a little different than a standard. We'll pull up the MACD because the MACD works really well on larger time frame charts. Let me expand all this a little bit. You can see we've kind of formed this double top, and again, on the moving, the stochastic part of the MACD. Sorry, again we have that that bearish divergence, the same we had prior on the prior chart. We had a higher high here. We had a lower high, higher high, way lower high. You can see that major divergence on the histogram, right? The histogram has rolled back over into negative territory. I think it's probably going to roll some more. We're going to probably end up looking like this here. See where we kind of came down, rolled down here on the bottom for a while. It could be a while, guys. I'm not looking for this to move up really anytime soon. I could be wrong, but it is coming into late August, and we have September ahead of us, and September is typically a rather bearish month. So I really think this correction is going to continue. It's just going to be boring, and we're going to be stuck in that kind of range trading environment that we saw, over here. Let me go back into the weekly, right? So we could creep back down in this zone and just kind of trade, wave around in this range here for a while before lifting back off. Honestly, that makes sense on a timeline perspective as well. We haven't had halving yet, and even during halving, you typically get some more bearish moves. You'll just range up until sometime after halving. After halving, give it some time, and then it'll start to creep up, and it usually hits slow before it booms up. So we have plenty of time, I think, to accumulate. Anything under 27.2, I think is a really good accumulation range. Look, if you're long-term invested and your DCA strategy is to just invest into Bitcoin and your other investments at a time, say every Monday at 9 or 10 a.m., you purchase all the assets you want to purchase. And just a little bit, maybe $5 or $10 worth of Ethereum, $20, $100, whatever your budget is. That's a good strategy. I wouldn't stop doing that. But if you're more of a timed buyer and you're looking for value, I really think anything under 27.2 is value, because for me, I would say my good buy zones, pull up a box, at this point, pretty much anything in here, right? I'd buy all the way down here. Absolutely. Unless this whole project is about to collapse, because we haven't broken that bottom structure yet. I'd still buy in this, accumulate. And my selling area, where I'd be taking profits, would be up here. until we get another major correction, right? Buy, sell. Let me put that back. Yeah. Not in large chunks, but, you know, yeah. Just DCA in, DCA out, and put a little more cash in your pockets for the next major dip, so you can buy some more. So long term, for me, nothing's really changed, just more range accumulation. This was not a very impulsive move, and I know some people are trying to mirror it over here, and that's true. Not a very impulsive move. I think the difference really is what was this, September? Yeah, look, September was here, August, and hit October. So, you know, look, even if we do, are we at August, October, you know, give it some more time. At least give it until then. If we're down here in October, I'd absolutely buy a butt ton. If we were on support running out of September, say we come up, get that other drop, it might even be a long position. I might even throw some leverage in that. Let's go on to one more chart. This is our more immediate time frame chart. And what we have here are our daily and monthly levels of support and resistance. I don't need these, so take them off. Again, that same trend line. And I've thrown a fib, my three favorite retrace levels from the very low to the very high. We have on our monthly chart, the only untapped monthly levels we have. You see where we have a down candle and an up candle, and the bodies of those candles, that's our first monthly support. The top of these is our first monthly resistance. These are untapped. We didn't have anything else in here that has already gone through. We had a monthly support here at 27,234. Obviously, we fell through that, so we can't count that one. Kind of have a channel high and a kind of a weak sauce channel there. These are a little different from my prior channels. I was just looking for something else. Let's go into our weekly. Fairly similar to our prior channels. Man, I can't talk today. We have a weekly here, and I know it's been hit, but this is a really strong area. I might take this off. Maybe we'll, we've already got our support line there. So let's drop the weekly down here with a 618. That's good confluence. Fall into that, you know, right in here. This is a really good area, really strong area. So that's our untapped weekly. Our other weekly is up here at the top and here. And I know we have a few of them on the way up because of how corrective this looked on the way down. That's why it caught me a little off guard to drop as far as we did. I knew we were coming down. I was really looking at this level, just under this mid-level here. Yeah, right around that 8 to 70, 72 level area. But falling down into here, that really threw me for a loop. Now, I wasn't in any trades. I was just looking to long here, and I just didn't see any sign of strength when it entered the area. If you saw where I was looking long in the chats, you saw me mention that I'm not longing until it gives me a reason to, even though we were in this area. And that's because I don't do leverage on limit orders. I'll do buys on limit orders, but I do not do leverage on limit orders. I'll set alerts to see where we are on price, but I need to see that sign of strength before we come into it. Let's go into the daily. I don't remember why I have this marked. I'm going to take that out. You can see we've come back into, this is a different trend line. I started from the low, and if we consider this a deviation and this another low, and we've hit here with another deviation, that's possible. I'm just going to throw it on to track it. I don't put a lot of, a lot of support hopes into a trend line. A trend line is just to show the general direction of the movement. If we curl around and come back up, then this directional trend is still in play. Honestly, I think this would be my most prized target area between 22 and 20. I want to see us hold above this prior low. I think coming back under this low, 19.6, that's really getting into danger territory for me. You see some of the harmonics on here, and we have targets and patterns. See, this one already played out. We have a shark, came up into this zone, came down, hit target 1. It's about the 5.0. We surpassed it just a little bit. That's fine. Sharks turned into what they call a 5.0 pattern. You come down and hit that 50% retracement, and at that point, you have a good strong chance of it coming back up for another kind of a co-equal length of this D leg here. And that looks like that played out really well with this pattern. If you fall under, your next area is, well, where this monthly was on the 16,500. That's your 886 retracement. So down here we were looking for that sign of strength. I can't remember. I think we did have longs on here, to be honest with you. I have to go back and look. On the 3-day, we have this larger bat pattern and a smaller shark. Now, obviously, the smaller shark is played out, so we can take that off. I can turn that off in the settings, but I just have everything on here anyway. So the smaller one is played out all the way to the 886. What we were looking for was that support here. This was more of another 5.0, hoping for another 5.0 to get us up to the range where we were hoping to get to, which is this target 1, really, of this larger deep crab pattern from way back up here. That gets us to our minimum ideal for our ABC extension. So we've been eyeballing that for a while. It just may not happen yet. We might still be waiting. Now, we do have a bearish bat pattern, and we can see that we've already hit the first target for that bat pattern, and it could come back up. Let me turn this shark off. Stop being lazy about it. There we go. Shark's off. All right. So we could come back up, hit some of these, and make a type 2 return out of this zone up here, either at or above 28.1. I would think 29. I think we stay under 30, come back up, find resistance, come back down, and hit target 2, or just come up here, fall, come back down, hit target 2, which is right on the 0618, right by our weekly and right by our channel midpoint. And this zone right here, to me, a lot of confluence. Looks really good. What did I just do? I'm out of my mind, guys. Rectangle. There we go. I don't even know my shapes anymore. This area right here. Very strong area now that we're looking for as support. I don't want to predict that we're going down there. I just want to know where to react, right? Don't take your trades on a whim. Take your trades on a reaction. We do have a setup for a possible long. Daily, what I really want to see is come down, take out this low, right on the daily, and see a swing failure pattern. Is that to get us down to our, what am I doing? You guys are just going to bear with me today. That get us down here to our 1618 extension. Give us our full wave 3. Come back up like a wave 4 and falter somewhere, I think in here, come back down for a 5, maybe in here, and this would be ideal for me. I know that's a bit long for a wave 5, and the 4 could just truncate and fall off of this trend line. So we could do a long on a swing failure pattern, but I'd want to see it take that low here, right? and come back up. And I want to see it be another wick, right? Not a come down here and play around. I want it to wick down through and shoot back up. At that point, if it comes down and then breaks back above, say the low here, and it really also it just depends on the exchange. We come back down and start coming up with volume. If we leave a good wick, I think that'd be my sign that we come back up for a little better of a correction move. We can snipe a little long trade in here. This is also, like I said, a good point to accumulate. So if you're buying a couple of buy orders in here, it'd be really nice. Just because we may not come down here. We don't know. And I'd be looking for, again, this to come up. If it looks corrective on the way up, we're going to look for those wicks, and then we're going to take those wicks and we're going to short them. You can see when the buyers run out and the sellers are taking over, or vice versa, you get these wicks. And it's not as apparent on the daily, but you go into the weekly, you can see it really strong, right? The wicks up in here. The wicks up, I got all those wicks up in there. They could not get over this level, right? And stay above it. The sellers were just eating up anything the buyers could throw at them. Come down here to the bottom, right? You see these wicks down at the bottom. And obviously we had one buy that was sold off to come back for a fake out. Well, it's not really a fake out. I don't deal with fake outs just because the price is the price. It's not fake. Like, the price is always right. It's like the game show. The price is always right. It's just us who are wrong, right? Sometimes we guess wrong. Sometimes we analyze wrong. Sometimes we trade wrong. But the price is always right. But yeah, this is my most likely scenario. Go back into the 3-day. And if we want to play along with harmonics, I think get another shark. Go down. Yep. We hit our. I'd fix that janky low, but let's play the 886 right there, right at the bottom point of our channel. So I think we can get another shark pattern. Maybe we wick down into there, hit our target 2, hit that support, take out the weekly, hit the 618, right? You want to put it exactly. We can, nope. We can throw in that golden pocket, 0.66, and it's right there. The 0.66 golden pocket, 61866. I'd long that. If it catches any support here, I'll be buying and longing, most likely. Good long-term long. My invalidation point is pretty close at that point, which would be down here at the 786, just below 19,000, and then my target for that, my final target for that, oops, wrong one, would be hoping that this turns into a wave 3. Get me up here into that, which makes my final target just under 50K. That, to me, would be a great swing trade. Now, I'd take profits along the way. It's not going to be 100% of it out at that level. I'll probably take some profit out and adjust my stops to a certain point, and then at some point up here, if we break this high, probably just start trailing it. Trailing it with a stop loss. What's left of it, if I'm feeling really generous, might leave half. It just depends on how we come into this area. So, yeah, that's pretty much where we're at. We can, one more chart. We can look at our volume zones. A nice purple chart just to break up a little contrast there. See, we're on our whole range. Value area high. So we haven't broken back down into, and you can see on this exchange, I don't know which one this is, to be honest with you. But on this exchange, we did come down and we broke that low. We haven't done it on the others yet. I think we will. If we play around in here, I think we can nail that low end. You can see, right? A lot of volume support down here. This is two ranges. Both ranges, the point of control in both ranges are just completely overlapped. This $19,150,000 or $19,150, sorry, level. That should really prove to be strong support. I think the next high area volume we have is down here, 23.35. Yeah, it's gonna be something to break down through that. So we have low volume here, right? It just starts to come in, right here at 24,850. So we may flesh out this area a lot, or a bit. It's a good wave 4 area to flesh this area out, just because we don't have a lot of order support here. The exchanges like to fill in as many orders, as much interest as they can at certain levels. And if this looks like an interesting level, they will hover, they'll be inclined to help hover price here as long as they can, in these low volume areas, see who's willing to buy and who's willing to sell at that area. And if nobody's interested, they'll move on. If there's a lot of interest, they make a lot of money through that exchange in, exchange out. All right. So that's my update. I'll try to get this posted up as quick as possible. I know I'm slow. Videos, YouTube, all this stuff, it's really not my forte. So I just wanted to give you guys some further explanation on how these things go. If you're interested in doing these other types of TA, that could be another course. Volume area is pretty self-explanatory, and we go over the levels pretty well. So yeah, just keep watching. I'll probably post some more stuff. Till then, see you guys later.